Xin chào mừng quý vị và các bạn quay trở lại với phần 3 của chương trình Tôi và Việt Nam trên kênh truyền hình FBNC, phỏng vấn vị khách mời Stephen Gretlohoff, đại diện của tổ chức phi chính phủ Water Aid Route Missionary Association, Gospel Fellowship Association, hay còn gọi tắt là WAMA GFA. Chúng tôi xin phép được tiếp tục cuộc trò chuyện với vị khách mời này nhé. So in the past years, the Vietnamese government has scaled back the number of NGOs and also NGO projects operating in this country, rising income in the country, and also the controversy of hidden agendas of a lot of NGOs have been cited as the reason. So what is your opinion on these issues?
First of all, I just want to say congratulations to Vietnam. I read in the Vietnam news a few days ago, just after Ngày Khó khăn Việt Nam, that income has increased in Vietnam since the mid-70s 25 times, and Vietnam is now a middle income earning nation. Chúc mừng người Việt Nam về điều đó. Tôi đã đọc bác Hồ nói chúng ta phải sống tiết kiệm. So if there's not a need for non-government organizations and the nation is able to handle all these responsibilities, then I'm happy to be out of a job. If there's a need, we're happy to be here.
Some people argue that some types of NGO projects deflect government responsibility for basic services. What counter-arguments would you put forward?
I'm really not in a position to evaluate how well the government can provide services, but when we're invited, we're happy to do what we can do.
Now I know that you would like to give a special mention to your friend Glenn Romaine of Clinton Township, Michigan. So could you please share his story and also his current involvement in the NGO operation?
Yes. My friend Glenn Romaine was an American soldier here who was seriously wounded during the war. He has lost the use of his left arm, most of the use of his left leg, and has a metal plate as a replacement for part of the skull that he has lost. And he had heartache upon heartache when he returned to his home country. During his time of recovery, his wife left him and took their newborn son. His heart was filled with anger, frustration, bitterness. At that time, a Christian shared with him the Bible message that Jesus loved him and had died to take away his sins. Glenn asked Jesus to do that very thing for him. And I'd like to just read a few words. His story is included in the letter of donation to build the preschool center at Kampute village in Huyện Tân Dương in Lâm Đồng province.
Sure. Yeah, please go on.
And Glenn says here, as time went on, I realized that if I had not been wounded by the mortar round that night in Vietnam, I would have never stopped to consider the destiny of my eternal soul. This verse, he's quoting a verse from the New Testament. This became dear to me. It is better for me to enter into life crippled or harmed, rather than having 2 hands or 2 feet, than to be cast into everlasting fire. For the last 37 years, my every step has been difficult. My left arm has been useless. Undoubtedly, there are many dear Vietnamese men who share my daily plight. My physical loss, though, cannot compare with my resulting spiritual gain. I do not regret that I was wounded. Thank you, Vietnam, for helping me come to Christ. I wish everyone shared my joy. And he concludes by saying, friends of mine have given a gift in my honor so that the children of Kampute and Lâm Đồng province can learn to read. This is very important, and I wish you every success in your studies. may the government project go well, and may the Kapute children eventually graduate from school to become honest, hardworking citizens of whom Vietnam can be proud. Your friend, Glenn Romaine from Clinton Township, Michigan.
That is beautiful, really.
I see our nations are constantly trying to improve our relations one with another. And I just really appreciate the privilege to share this story. Here is a Christian way that hate and bitterness and anger were taken out of someone's heart through Christ. Love was put there that made him want to have a part in this project. Please give me a concrete way to say thank you to Vietnam. Yes, it was very painful. I knew him in those early years when he had just returned from the war. I saw his floods of tears over his sorrows. But today, this man has the peace and joy of the Lord in his heart and is just so excited to have a part in this project.
I see. So besides mentioned activities, I know that you also teach English to children with free of charge. So while you are doing all these activities, what are your personal motivations and goals?
Many neighborhood children, just by getting acquainted with those in our neighborhood, it's just a joy to have them in our home. And my wife could not live if she didn't have the opportunity to teach children.
I see. Is there anything else you would like to add?
I think that's about all of our story. I just want to say I could not be anywhere else. It's really a privilege and joy to be here in your country too, and for our family to be here. Our daughter graduated from Saigon South International School. She's now caring for her grandmother. I just thank you for the privilege to be here.
Let me thank you on behalf of the Vietnamese people. It seems like you are doing a great, honest and transparent job out here. I wish you and your family the very best. Take care.
Thank you so much too. It's our joy.
Thank you. Thưa quý vị, vừa rồi là chương trình Tôi và Việt Nam trên kênh truyền hình FBNC phỏng vấn ông Stephen Lohhoff, đại diện của tổ chức phi chính phủ Walter A. Rouse Missionary Association, Gospel Fellowship Association hay còn gọi tắt là WAMA GFA. Cẩm Thu xin cảm ơn quý vị đã quan tâm theo dõi. Xin chào tạm biệt quý vị và xin hẹn gặp lại trong chương trình tiếp theo.